I am Zarmina, and my partner, she is Mastura. We are a partner. We are a member of the Zafaran group, and the Zafaran group started working since 2019, but we stopped for a while via coronavirus, but we restarted in the end of 2020. And the Zafaran food is especially from Afghanistan, and it shows the culture, tradition, and food. Yes, and also it is fresh. We prepare fresh and organic, and nothing else. Just it is a little bit information about our business, our catering business. Yes, we are four women. Yes, we work together. Can you?
Hi everyone, this is Mastura and I'm a member of Zafaran Afghan cuisine. We are working together and for Pittsburgh people to, they love maybe our food or not. So, yeah, thank you so much everyone. And thank you so much for choose our company to cater your event tonight. We are so happy for that. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, and enjoy the food. Thank you so much.
Again, if you just came, my name is John Rubin. I'm a professor in the School of Art, and I've been working with Habib Sarosh, who recently joined us as a visiting scholar in the School of Drama and the School of Art. And I'm going to let Habib introduce himself. We also tonight have Rosbe, who's going to do some interpretation from Dari to English when needed. So Habib, introduce.
Hello everyone. من حبیب سروش هستم.
I'm Habib Sarosh.
مدت 10 سال استاد در دانشگاه کابل بودم و در فاکولته های هنرهای زیبا، ژورنالیسم و ادبیات تدریس می‌کردم.
I have been teaching for 10 years in different departments at the University of Kabul. In journalism.
Journalism, literature, and Faculty of Fine Arts.
Journalism, literature, and Faculty of Fine Arts. I think it is English. I just repeated. Sorry.
و در این مدتی که 10 ساله که من در دانشگاه کابل بودم نهایتاً با مشکلات زیاد مواجه بودم و مدت 30 ساله که من در افغانستان زندگی کردم شاید بگویم که احساس بی‌وطنی می‌کردم.
In this 10 years, I had a lot of problems at the university, and at 30 years in Afghanistan, I was feeling homeless.
و این احساس وقتی که وارد پترزبورگ شدم خوشبختانه توسط اساتید، توسط جامعه کارنگی ملون و همچنان مردم خوب پترزبورگ من توانستم دیگه احساس تنهایی و احساس حتی با آنی که اینجا بیگانه هستم اما هیچگاه احساس بی‌وطنی نمی‌کنم.
As I came to Pittsburgh, this feeling is gone, and I feel like home, even if I'm not in the country, in my country, but because of the Carnegie Mellon and all the teachers over here and all the kind people around me in Pittsburgh, I don't feel alone.
من میخوایم در ارتباط با فیلم 3 آهنگ برای بی‌نظیر فقط صحبت میکنم، خلاصه داستان نمیگیم که این یکی از شرایطش هست که نباید پیش از دیدن فیلم داستان را لو بدیم.
I will talk about three songs for Benazir. I just give a little bit information, but I will not speak about the film itself because I don't want to destroy, like I want you to see it.
فیلم 3 آهنگ برای بی‌نظیر ساخته گلستان میرزایی و الیزابت میرزایی و من سلام میکنم به ایشان.
The film for 3 songs for Benazir was made by Gulistan Mirzai and Elizabeth Mirzai, and I will say hello to them, and I have a lot of respect to them. I'm honored to be here. I myself is honored. It is very, very important for all of us.
گلستان میرزایی زاده پنجشیر افغانستان است و الیزابت اهل پنسیلوانیا است.
آقای Mr. Gulistani is from Panjshir province in Afghanistan, and Elizabeth is from Pennsylvania, from this province.
اما فیلم سه آهنگ برای بی‌نظیر یکی از مؤثرترین و تاثیرگذارترین فیلم در تاریخ سینمای مستند افغانستان محسوب میشه.
And the three songs for Benazir is considered as one of the best documentary film in the history of Afghanistan.
و این فیلم در سال 2022 نامزد اسکار شد.
This film was nominated for Oscar in 2022.
و در اخیر فیلم من دوست دارم وقتی که میگیم که این فیلم یکی از شاهکارهای سینمای افغانستان محسوب میشه خود بحث کردیم که من چرا چنین ادعایی را دارم.
So when I say it is one of the best and one of the best film in the history of Afghanistan, at the end of the film I have my all my logic and all my information of why it is one of the best documentaries in history of Afghanistan.
و در اخیر من سپاسگزاری میکنم از تمام اعضای کارنگی میلون، از دو سوپروایزر من جناب جان روبین و ویندی، الکس و تمام جامعه کارنگی میلون و همچنان اسپانسرای برنامه و نهایت خوشحال هستم که چنین فرصتی به من داده شده و من در مقابل شما بزرگان حرف بزنم.
I do appreciate and would like to thank from the bottom of my heart from the Carnegie Mellon community and specifically the two professors that helped me through the process, and I am really thankful to the Carnegie Mellon.
تشکر.
Thank you.
جان روبین در ارتباط با گلستان میگه بیشتر صحبت بکنید. من شب گذشته تماس با جناب گلستان میرزایی داشتم.
I had a meeting with Gulistan Mirzai last night. I had the opportunity to talk to him.
و دقیقاً از ایشان سوال کردم که چرا شما شایسته خان اما شخصیت اصلی رو انتخاب کردید.
And I asked her specifically why you choose Shaista as the main character for the documentary.
و ایشان جوابات خیلی قانع کننده داشتن. از جمله ایشان گفتن که من زاده پنجشیر افغانستان هستم اما عمر خود و زندگی خود در مهاجرت در کشور ایران سپراندم.
So he said that he had very logical information and logical proof that to choose Shaista as a main character. And he said that I was an immigrant in Iran and I understand immigration.
و دقیقاً شایسته از یک منطقه به نام هلمند کوچ اجباری داده میشه، میاد در کابل زندگی میکنه و دقیقاً این چه سختی است که انسان در وطن خود بیوطنی بکنه.
And it is very important. Helmand province is one of the province in Afghanistan, and it is Shaista was forced from his country, from his province, to move to a different province. So he was forced to migrate from Helmand to Kabul. So it is very difficult to be an immigrant in your country.
و جناب گلستان هم امی تجربه مهاجرت را داشته و امی سختی های مهاجرت را داشته و خیلی زود همزاد پنداری با شایسته میکنه.
And Mr. Gulistan has the experience of being an immigrant, and he understands fully how Shaista was. What was the concern with Shaista and how he was feeling. So he was the same as Shaista because he was an immigrant.
و گلستان فیلم‌های متعدد دیگه البته در بخش مستند این کارگردانی کرده که از مهمترین فیلم بلندش که 1 ساعت و 37 دقیقه هست 97 دقیقه هست که لیلا روی پل یک فیلم بسیار زیبای مستند است که جوایز خیلی زیادی را کسب کرده.
And Mr. Gulistan has directed a number of films. One of his high-end and a very good film, and the best film was 1 hour and 97 minutes. That was
97 minutes. It is the time of film.
97 minutes is the time of film. Okay.
Sorry.
Vale.
و ما میخوایم که در اخیر بگویم که فیلم سه آهنگ برای بی‌نظیر 13 جوایز معتبر بین المللی کسب کرده.
And the 3 songs for Benazir has awarded of 13 important awards.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Habib. Just to... Got it. Before we move on, I just want to thank our sponsors for the event, the Center for Arts and Society, the Kim and Eric Giller Humanities Lecture Fund, the CMU Sustainability Initiative. I want to be a big thank you to Alex Hineker, who works here at the school, who was incredibly instrumental in getting Habib and his family here. The Humanities Scholars Program and the Studio for Creative Inquiry. I'd like to ask Elizabeth and Golistan, can you hear us? Yes, can we hear them?
Yes, we can hear you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you just give us a brief introduction to the film and to yourselves? And then after we watch, we can obviously ask more questions.
Sure. Yeah, my name is Golistan Mirzai. I'm the director and producer for 3 Songs for Benazir.
And I'm Elizabeth Mirzai, also director, producer, and a cinematographer for 3 Songs for Benazir.
I'm very happy to be here to share my film about my country with you, and I also happy to speak with my fellow countryman or Vatandar, Habib Sarosh. Thank you.
Yeah, we're really excited to be here, and thankful to Carnegie Mellon and everyone, and Habib and you, John. And we worked on this film for a number of years. I think we started filming it in 2013, but we met Shaista in 2010.
Yeah.
10 initially. So we have a friendship that goes back a long time with him.
Wonderful. So should we, any other thoughts before we watch the film, or should we just dive into it?
No, I think you could just dive in. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
من در اول گفتم که فیلم سه آهنگ برای بی‌نظیر یکی از تاثیرگذارترین فیلم در حوزه مستند در افغانستان هست و الان میخوایم دلایلش با شما بازگو بکنم.
At the beginning, I said that the 3 Songs for Benazir is one of the effective documentary in Afghanistan. And now I want to say the reasons why.
حد اکثر فیلم‌های افغانی نگاه کلیشه‌ای و موضوع داشته، اما فیلم سه آهنگ برای بی‌نظیر نگاه خلاقانه و نگاه بکر به موضوع داشتم که نگاه گلستان مرزایی به فیلم سه آهنگ برای بی‌نظیر نگاهی است که عشق را در مقابل پدیده‌های مانند اعتیاد، مانند جنگ، مانند مهاجرت قرار داده و عشق را پیروز می‌سازه.
So the 3 Songs for Benazir, Mr. Gulistan, the directed, is not a stereotype. All the documentary films in Afghanistan are all stereotype. This is a creative and it has innovations. It brought the phenomena of addiction, war, and immigration, and he indicated that love wins over war, love wins over addiction, and love wins over immigration.
فیلم سه آهنگ برای بی‌نظیر در قسمت عوامل فنی مانند تدوین، مانند کارگردانی و طور کارگردانی شده که از کلوز و کلوزاپ و همچنان اکستریم کلوزاپ استفاده شده که میخواید که تأثیر بارز را روی روان مخاطب بگذاره.
The film Three Songs for Benazir has used designed and used close-up, extreme close-up, and brought effectiveness and will bring a lot of effects on the audience.
من میخوایم که در قسمت انتخاب شخصیت ها صحبت بکنم که چرا گلستان مرزایی آمده شایسته را به عنوان شخصیت اصلی خود انتخاب کرده.
I want to talk about the characters and want to say how Gulistan has chosen Shaista as the main character of Three Songs for Benazir.
در قدم اول زندگی هر افغان دراماتیک است. از زندگی هر افغان ما میتونیم کتاب بنویسیم. ما میتونیم فیلم بسازیم.
At first step, every Afghan life is dramatic, and we can make a documentary for each Afghan who lives has a dramatic life, and you can make a documentary.
من در افغانستان زندگی کردم و ساختار اجتماعی را در افغانستان به تمام معنا میفهمم.
I'm from Afghanistan, and I know the communities and the society and the structure of the society in all meaning, in all ways of life.
شایسته از قوم پشتون است که سنتی ترین مردم در افغانستان محسوب میشه.
Shaista is a Pashtun tribe, which is one of the traditional tribes in Afghanistan.
قوم پشتون باور داره که هیچ دختری نباید در رسانه‌های اجتماعی مانند فیسبوک، مانند توییتر و حتی در مقابل کامرا ظاهر شدن یک گناه محسوب میشه براش.
In our Pashtun tradition, for any female coming to social media and being on TV or being on Facebook or any other social media is considered a sin.
من آمدم یک مستندسازی کردم در قسمت متون عقیدتی، بعضی از کتاب‌ها رو مطالعه کردم، در قسمت متون عقیدتی مطالعه کردم و الان برای شما میگم که چرا.
I did a research on the religious and all the religious affairs of all different religion in Afghanistan.
کتاب به نام بهارالانوار نویسندش مجلسی هست.
The book Bahar al-Anwar, the writer is Majlisi.
نوشته است که ای بندگان خدا بدانید که گفتگو و اختلاط کردن با زنان نامحرم سبب نزول بلا و بدبختی می شود.
It's written if you talk with a female that is not you are not married with or you are not is not one of your relatives is bringing a lot of trouble to you and will be sinful.
و همچنان گفته دیگه‌ای داریم میگه ابو سلیمان گفته که دختر باکره را هیچ کس جز ولی نمیتواند به عقد کسی درآورد.
And there is another person
نامش ابو سلیمان.
Abu Sulaiman writes if a virgin woman should not get married or we say nakah. When we do nakah, they got married. So it is our religion that nakah, it's getting married. So is not, no one can give nakah for a virgin female.
نویسنده‌ای به نام جان اسمیت آمده یک کتاب بسیار زیبایی رو نوشته کرده در مورد رسم رسومات عروسی در افغانستان.
Another writer, John Smith wrote a book about the culture of Afghanistan, the culture and marriage tradition in Afghanistan.
در اونجا ذکر کرده میگه که خانواده ها نقش اساسی را در انتخاب زناشویی داره.
It mentions that the families has the right to marriage.
For example, به طور مثال ما میتونیم پدر، مادر، پدرکلان، برادر، ماماها، عمه‌ها اینها کاملا باید ما زمانی که میخوایم که ازدواج بکنیم نظر نیک اینها رو داشته باشیم.
So when we get married, father, mother, uncle, uncle, aunt, the whole of family, when we get married, we should get permission from them.
الان ما میبینیم که شایسته و بی‌نظیر عاشق یکدیگر هستن و در مقابل سنت قبیلوی قطع علم میکنن.
So we see that Shaista and Benazir are getting in love with each other, and they will stand on the Afghan tradition.
در کنار مهاجرت‌های داخلی که صورت گرفته یکی از دلایل، شاید جنگ هدف اصلی باشه، اما دلایل مانندی که شایسته برخلاف عقاید قبیله حرکت کرده باعث مهاجرت داخلیش میتونه که همین مسئله باشه.
There is one reason of forced migration for Shaista and Benazir might be war, but another reason is because he stand up on the tradition of his tribe, and he was forced for migration.
من زیاد صحبت نمیکنم، وقت نیست. جناب جان روبنز میگه که وقت نیست. فقط یک دقیقه من میخوایم که صحبت بکنم. گلستان مرزایی و الیزابت مرزایی از سمبل ها به وجه احسن کار گرفته.
I don't want to talk long, so I have very short time. I'm just going to say that Gulistan Mirzai and Elizabeth Mirzai has used from symbols, a lot of symbols.
به طور مثال آمده کپک جنگی، همچنان ما پسری را میبینیم که با تفنگچه بازی میکنه یا دختری که چاقو دستشن. اینها کاملا بیانگر تاثیر جنگ بالای افکار کودکان در افغانستان شده میتونه.
Like the bird fighting in the show, and also there is a kid with playing with a gun, like with a pistol, and also there is a daughter playing with a knife. These are all symbols, and it shows that there is war in Afghanistan.
و یک چیز دیگه که زمانی که طفل شایسته تولد میشه اینها با تفنگچه فایر میکنه و چیز زشت است که اولین صدایی که ما از طبیعت میشنویم صدای تفنگه. واقعا دردناکه.
That is the tradition. When a baby burns, we shoot fire on the ear. So firing with a gun, and when the baby is born, he is hearing a bullet fired. So it's not nice. So when we are burning, we are feeling the war.
در قسمت موسیقی من میخوایم که صحبت بکنم. موسیقیش قیس ایثار ساخته که یکی از آهنگ‌های خیلی مشهور افغانی به نام زندگی آخر سرایت بندگی در کار نیست.
So the music was designed by Qais Isar.
Yeah.
And he was using a very famous song of Ahmad Zahir that life ends, but you shouldn't be like you shouldn't be I can't remember the name. you shouldn't be a slave. So you should end slavery because life is ending. So you shouldn't be a slave.
که شاید هدف کارگردان امی باشه که وقتی که تمام طبیعت در مقابلت خط علم میکنه و تو باید فقط قدرت عشق که در مقابل پدیده های جنگ و مهاجرت و اعتیاد مبارزه میکنه و پیروز میشه و این نگاه بکر است و زیبایی فیلم هم در این قسمته.
And it is very important, and it delivered the message that with every phenomenon, love is winning. If it is war, if it is immigration, and if it is addiction, it is the love that wins over it.
تشکر از توجه شما.
Thank you.
من سوال از کارگردانای محترم دارم. کارگردان ها در مصاحبه‌ای که با وال استریت جورنال داشتن ادعا کرده که این فیلم یک فیلم سیاسی نیست، اما ما سمبول های زیادی را میبینیم که تاکید بر سیاسی بودن این فیلم میکنه، مثلا بالون را، مثلا هلیکوپتر را، و حتی خیلی دقیق باید بگویم که شایسته در مزارع تریاک کار میکنه و ما در پشت سرش یا در بک‌گراندش بالون میبینیم. آیا این نشان نمیده که با وجود بودن اعضای ناتو تا هنوز اوپیوم یا تریاک و تریاک کشت میشه، تولید میشه مواد مخدر؟
So with one of the interviews Mr. Golistan had with the Wall Street Journal, they said this is not a political film and it is not touching politics. But I have seen several symbols of politics, like the white balloon, like the helicopter. And I have a question that when Shaista was working in the opium field, and we see the balloon and it is from the NATO forces, is that indicates that even the NATO was there and the people could grow opium? That's my question.
حبیب عزیز بازم تشکر. ما و خود حبیب جان میفهمیم که در افغانستان یعنی با هم زندگی کردیم، میبینی که در بیشتر در کل افغانستان بالون و هلیکوپتر یعنی هر روز ما میتونیم در آسمان ببینیم. من میخواستم اونمو دنیایی که شایسته زندگی میکنه اونمو رو میخواستم در تصویر بکشیم.
So he mentioned to Mr. Habib, both of us were living in Afghanistan and I lived in Afghanistan. And it is our normal life. Whenever we are in Afghanistan, we see the white balloon with the camera. We see a helicopter running. And the director wanted to bring the reality and the reality of the community that they are living in. So that's why the director wanted to show that this is the normal life of an Afghan, ordinary Afghan in Afghanistan.
و من اصلا انتظار نداشتم که شایسته برای نیش زدن تریاک بره به هلمند، ولی یعنی من انتظاری داشتم که شایسته برای اردوی ملی چی یعنی پذیرفته میشه یا خانواده‌اش اجازه میدن که یعنی میتونه در اردوی ملی راج سر بکنه.
So I was not expecting Shaista to go to Helmand and work in the opium field. I expected him to go to the National Army and work there. I was thinking that it might happen.
Yeah. Thank you, Habib, for the question. You know, I think that as Golistan says, we were trying to show is just like in the background, the reality of the world that Shaista exists in. So, you know, we didn't go out in search of the balloon, for example, we just looked up and it was right above his house. And like the helicopters were constant, like all the time. And, you know, there was, in the years that we made this film, there were so many attacks in Afghanistan, in Kabul, like not far from where Shaista lives. And we weren't interested in filming those realities of Afghanistan. We really wanted to have the film juggle them in the background in a subtle way. And should I stop for a sec, or I have another thing to add? So who's the tarjuman?
میگم که ما در اونجا که رفته بودیم همیشه واقعیت‌های همون ساحه بوده و ما کدام چیزی را نمیخواستیم که واقعا همون دقیقه هلیکوپتر تیر میشده. ما پشت هلیکوپتر نرفتیم که برای فیلم کنیم، همون دقیقه همون هلیکوپتر تیر میشده. یعنی خواستیم که واقعیت‌هایی را که در همون ساحه بوده همون را فیلم برداری کنیم و این چیزی به حساب واقعیت همونجا بوده. ما پشت هلیکوپتر فیلم پوری نکردیم، خود هلیکوپتر اونجا موجود بوده و همون وقتی بوده که زیاد در همون سایه که شایسته زندگی میکرده همین شرایط موجود بوده.
And just the last thing is about with the balloon and the opium fields. You know, the purpose of the balloon for us was really to show the distance. So it's really about like how there's this huge space between the reality on the ground, the lived experience of people in Afghanistan, and then the people who are making decisions and policies, or, you know, coming into a country and trying to change things. And there's just no connection or relationship there beyond like usually one of violence a lot of the time. So the balloon was there just to show that huge gulf. I mean, also it's like this advanced technological contraption that is hovering over a camp where people don't even have running water or electricity. So there's just such a vast gulf in these two realities.
یک سوال دیگه دارم بعد از مخاطبین شاید سوال داشته باشه. یک سوال دیگه من دارم.
I have one more question and then I will keep the floor for questions.
من میفهمم در افغانستان زندگی کردم، مشخصا محدودیت ها رو میشناسم و این مخصوصا در جامعه پشتون محدودیتی بیشتری وجود داره، این رو میشناسم. واقعا شما به عنوان فیلم ساز چه محدودیتی را در هنگام ساختن فیلم سیاهنگ برای بی‌نظیر متحمل شدید؟
So I know the cultural barriers in Afghanistan, and I know the cultural barriers in specific tribes of Pashtuns. I want to know what barriers you faced during this process.
حبیب عزیز، ما تقریبا 3 سال میشه که با شایسته ما یعنی به عنوان رفیق بودیم. یعنی بهتر میدونی که یعنی فارسی زبان با اینا یعنی زود نمیپذیرن. من فکر میکنم یکی از دلایلی که شایسته خان و خانوادهش با ما بسیار نزدیک شدن و یعنی رفاقت یا دوستی که در طول 3 سال بود. یعنی من امو روز کامera رو نگرفتم برم بخوام فیلم بگیرم. این مدت 3 سال گذشت و تقریبا 85% از کمپ ما رو میشناسه و زمانی که ما کامera رو میگرفتیم برای فیلم میرفتیم می اومدن میگفتن که بچه ما مریض است یا از فامیل ما دیگه فیلم نمیگرفتیم. ما یعنی خاص خانوادهش هر کی مریض بود میگرفتیم برای شفاخانه. و من فکر میکنم که چون که اعتباری که بین شایسته و ما و خانوادهش بود و اونا اجازه دادن که ما بتونیم یعنی فیلم بگیریم. دیگه شما فراموش کنید. Yeah.
So it was a 3 years relationship with Shaista until I get to know him and become like a family or become a friend for 3 years. After 3 years, after 3 years when I was going to the camp, if someone was sick, I had to take them to the hospital. I was not filming. So it was not an easy process for me to take that film even though I was a friend for 3 years.
و در کابل می‌فهمیم که اونا حبیب عزیز که چون نزدیک یعنی در کمپ واقعا زیر خیمه زندگی کردن بسیار سخت است. مخصوصا زمستان‌های بسیار سردی هست، زمستان‌های کابل، برای گرفتن مواد سوخت یا مواد لوجستیکی برای کمپ با وزیر مهاجرین همراهش، یعنی با هم نماینده ها یا همون مشت کمپ میرفتیم برای گرفتن کمک. و یکی ای که رفتن به داخل کمپ یعنی کار هر کس نیست، یعنی باور بکنید شما، به دلیلی که بسیاری از اینا مسلح هستن، یعنی حداقل یک پستول دارن، یک تفنگچه دارن و یعنی اجازه نمیدن که یکی غیر از خودشان داخل کمپ بیاد. و همین که میگم که دوستی و رفاقت باعثی شد که ما بتونم، و یکی که وقتی من شایسته اوکی.
So it is 3 years. It is living under a tent in that situation is not easy. Even we went and met with the Minister of Immigration to get for winter support for the camp, and in that camp under those tents, 90% of the people were having a gun, either a pistol or something. So it was not easy to go there and film. It was very difficult. It was not an easy job.
و بارهاش و به احتمال داره خودتون در اخبارم شنیده باشه، از داخل همین کمپ اختطاف شده، یعنی رفتن خبرنگار یا فیلمساز، یعنی اتفاق افتاده.
It has that there has been kidnapping going on in that camp during that process, and there was all on in the news. So it was not an easy job.
و یکی که بارها ما خودمون با نیروهای امنیتی مواجه شدیم، دلیلش بود که اونا میگفتن که حتما از ما یک اجازه نامه داشته باشه، و اجازه نامه هم اگر ما میگرفتیم ما مجبور بودیم با حدود شاید یک 5 نفر عسکر یا محافظ داخل کمپ میرفتیم، ولی نشان میداد که یعنی هیچ کس حاضر نبود، حتی شایسته با پلیس بریم اونجا ما بخوایم فیلم بگیریم امکانش نبود. و
we had to take permission from the police commissioners, and even if we get 5 soldiers with us and go there, no one was talking to us because they were not trusting us. So it is building the trust and friendship which made us to make this film.
کسی از مخاطبین سوالی اگه داشته باشه.
There's any question from the...
Hello, thank you for such an excellent documentary. It's very moving. Susan, School of Music, Music Education. I wonder if you could talk about the significance of the title of the film. And secondly, are women allowed to participate in the musical tradition of that specific tribe?
اینا دو سوال دارن. سوال اولشان ای است که تایتل ای فیلم شما چه قسم انتخاب کردین، و اگر من صحیح فهمیده باشم بازم دوباره پرسان میکنم. و سوال دومشان ای است، البته که سوال دومشان آیا امو ترایب یا امو قبیله که ما داریم، آیا امو سامانالات موسیقی که دارن میتونن بیان بنوازن دمو منطقه، امو آلات موسیقی که موجود است میتونن بنوازن یا نه؟ If I hear you correctly, you are asking about the title of the film, and then if they could use any musical instrument which is from that tradition to use it and to
I was asking if women are allowed to sing or make music in that tradition.
میگن که آیا خانم ها اجازه دارن که به حساب بخوانن و یا دمو کلتوری که هستن یا مو کلچر که هستن و یا از آلات موسیقی استفاده کنن.
Okay, I'll answer the first part about the title, and you want to talk about the women in music.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much for the question. So the titles are always tricky for us. And initially the film, I think we just called it Shaista for a while. But that didn't seem to really capture the full reality of the story that we were telling. And for us, we wanted to have a title that would, first of all, like be disarming in some sense. Like generally when you hear films about Afghanistan or stories about Afghanistan, even the title itself feels like it kind of stands out as something. I mean, it could be like related to war or violence in some way, or something very heavy and serious. And Shaista is just such a poetic young man, and we just wanted the title to kind of reflect that part of the story, and to be disarming and kind of I don't know if detonate's a strong word, but kind of like explode the kind of stereotype, which is also a strong word, but kind of just like explode these stereotypes that we often have when we think about Afghanistan. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you want to? Yeah. No, you can talk about the women now. If you want. Does Habib understand? Let me translate.
خانم‌هاشون معمولاً یعنی بندار یا آواز چی میخوانن بین خودشان، نه اینکه خارج از او و یا اینکه از طریق CD یا
Yeah, I think, I mean, I can just add on to that so in all our time spending so much time in the camp, we didn't really, like, women wouldn't participate in music at all the way that the men did. Like Shaista, that kind of party that they had where they were singing and playing music, that wasn't something super rare. Like that happened quite a bit, where they would just like burst into song, and you can see that Shaista sings. I mean, the title is a reflection of that. But there is this scene, brief moment in the film where some young girls are playing music and dancing and singing. And so it's, in that camp at least, it seems like it reaches a point where then it becomes unacceptable. So those girls were young adolescents, and after that point, you know, they're obviously not married yet, although some of them probably were already engaged, to be honest. But then once they reach like a certain age, it wouldn't be acceptable to do that anymore.
بازم یک مرد بازم که در بین خانم‌ها باشه، مخصوصا یعنی دوستان پنجتون ما خب اجازه یعنی راحت نیستن و معمولا اگه در این سینا من همیشه بیرون میدم، چون الیزابت میتونست همراهشان صحبت و نه اینکه پشتو مقصد فارسی باشن میتونست که افهام تفهیم بکنه.
So in what Mr. Gulistan mentioned is that they have, if the women are gathering together, they can use their own specific songs, specifically to that, and then they have like music running. Men are not allowed to be in a female gathering when they are singing. And sometimes when they were singing, Miss Mirzai was there, and she was talking in Dari, somehow could communicate with them, but Mr. Gulistan was not allowed to be in those singing or music parties.
سوال دیگه هست؟ Any question?
Thank you very much for tonight's event. I'm curious, what has been the impact on Shaista and Benazir from being in this film?
میگن چی تاثیر بالای شایسته و بینظیر گذاشته وقتی که اینا در فیلم بودن؟ چی تاثیرات بالای شده؟
البته ببینیم یعنی فیلم ما از طریق واتساپ برای شایسته و فامیلش نشون دادیم. معمولا اونا بسیار خوش بودن، یعنی که فیلم ما را خارج از افغانستان مردم دیدن و جایزه هایی که مثلا این فیلم گرفته برای اونا یعنی غیر قابل تصور بود. یعنی باورتون نمیشه که یک فامیل بسیار ساده یعنی این فیلم یعنی علاقمند داشته و ما و شما میفهمیم که در افغانستان معمولا بیشتر فیلمی که درست میکنن یعنی بیشتر فیلم ها در مورد پالیتیشن اکتیویست یا آدمای مثلا یک سینگر معروف و پشت یک آدم معمولی یا فیلم در مورد آدم معمولی بسیار کم است.
So we send the film through WhatsApp to them and inform them about the awards they received. And they were very happy. For an ordinary Afghan family, having a film is something different. Mostly when they are making a film for Afghan traditions, they have someone a politician or a famous singer or someone who is important. But this was they were very happy. Can I repeat your question because you say what was the impact for them and یعنی چی تأثیری بالای زندگیشان گذاشته؟ آیا زندگیشان مورد خطر نیست؟ مشکلی ندارن؟ It is about the danger you were talking about or
did opportunities happen to them? Shaista didn't speak well about his brother in one scene. What are the impacts, familial relations, and just, you know, the attention that they're getting that nobody else probably in their camp gets. How does that impact them in their communities?
اینا میگن آیا فرصت‌های برایشان موجود بوده، فرصت‌های برایشان ساخته شده و برادرشان و اما جامعهشان چی تاثیراتی گذاشته این فیلم و چی تغییراتی آورده و برادرش؟
ببینید که در افغانستان خب فیلم یعنی عمومی نبوده که در تلویزیون نشان داده شد، چون پرایوت برش نشان یعنی از طریق واتساپ برش نشان دادیم.
This film was not publicly shown in Afghanistan and we sent through WhatsApp.
و یکی که چون زمانی که اعلان شد برای اسکار نامینیت شده و در اخبار زیاد بود، معمولا خبرنگارا کوشش میکردن که باش در ارتباط یعنی همراهش ارتباط بگیرن، ولی اینا یعنی خودش یعنی علاقمند نبود یعنی همراه هیچ اخباری صحبت بکنه و دلیلی که امروز روز قرار بود یک بندار یا پارتی بگیرن که طالبان نزدیک همین کمپ یک بیس نظامی درست کردن برای امنیتشان.
So when it was nominated for Oscar, there was a lot of news that they wanted to interview them, but they were not aware, they were not ready to have an interview because the Taliban was making a base near their camp.
فقط یک سوال دیگری میگیریم وقت تمام هست.
Last question.
Yeah, last question.
Thank you both for showing up in the Zoom call. I really appreciate your time. I just wanted to ask, just as artists, did you feel a pressure to accurately describe the experience of the current Afghan people? And did you experience any pushback actually from the community while you were making the film or after it had been released?
میگن که تشکر از اردوی شما که در برنامه همراه ما هستین و اردویتان به حیث یک هنرمند. آیا گاهی شده که مقابل شما زیر فشار بوده باشین یا همون جامعه نقص داشته باشه که شما به اون فیلم خود به اون شکلی که میخواین به حساب باید فیلم برداری کنین؟ آیا کدام مخالفت با شما صورت گرفته؟
Yeah, thanks for the question. So the community had no issue with us filming because it was, you know, as Gulasan said, because we had known them for so long, they invited us into their homes to make the film. And we also were very careful about, we weren't filming. This was a very different documentary than what our previous film, Layla at the Bridge, that Habib mentioned, which is like we were just shooting constantly. Like the camera was always rolling when we were with Layla. This film was much more measured, I would say, in the way that we filmed and in what we chose to film and what we chose not to film. So there was a lot of things that we saw in their house that we knew we're not going to film that. We're not going to show that moment. Safety was always a priority for everyone involved in the film. We didn't want to do anything that would be unsafe for them. And we also wanted to make sure that they were okay with the film before it was shown, before it premiered at a festival. And also once the film was nominated for an Oscar, you know, we had long conversations with Shaista and Benazir about what that would look like. Like, what would that mean? Is it okay for the film, or even not even an Oscar, it was like just to be on Netflix? What is that? What does that mean? So it was really just having these long conversations about it. And just in terms of your other question, which I think, I apologize if I'm not understanding correctly, but for us, we were really motivated, not motivated, I would say, we were just drawn to tell a story about Afghanistan the way that we experienced it. And so it's, you know, for us, it is this place that there is this backdrop of war happening, you know, all the time. You're living in the middle of it all the time. But there's also the possibility of falling in love, you know, with the person next door to you, just like Shaista and Benazir did. And that story is also our story as well, because we fell in love in the middle of a war in Afghanistan. And for us, it was just really, it was something beautiful to show the choices that you make, like the choice to stand together, the choice to create a family in the midst of so much chaos, and the choice to have hope even in what seems like really dire circumstances.
و من در آخر از همه شما تشکر میکنم، از گلستان مرزایی، الیزابت مرزایی، پروفسور جان روبن، الکس، وندری و تمام جامعه کارنگی ملون، اساتید، دانشجویان تشکر میکنم که این فرصت به من دادید و من لحظات با شما بحثی داشته باشم.
I'm thankful to everyone, to Golestan, to Mirzai, to Elizabeth Mirzai, and to John, to Wendy, and to the whole community of Carnegie to give me that opportunity to have a discussion with you. I'm really thankful, and I really appreciate your time.